Greetings everyone, I'm Gordon II and welcome back to another progress video for more mobs. It's been a while. Episode 4. Honestly feels great to be back in this. Of course I have to explain a little bit first why this hasn't been happening for a while. Tried to record this episode on multiple occasions and it was just after the third one. It was supposed to come out pretty early on, but as I promised, I was showing off my process of working on a new mob, and in that episode of course the mob itself didn't turn out well, and it took me like a long time to get back into it, and then the whole hiatus on my channel and all that stuff. And this is why we're here now. Basically the mob itself didn't go very well and it's still broken. I'll try to get it fixed. Maybe I'll have to change the whole structure of the mob, the way it works, to make it happen, but for now this mob just isn't operating properly, so I'll just have to do something about it later. But because I promised that I'll show you a process of me working on a mob, I decided that this episode I'll show you how I'm doing my textures. Of course not every time is the same, but this will give you some understanding of the process I'm going through, and I decided to split this in parts: textures, coding, concepts, maybe even sounds when I get to those. So I think that's more interesting to see every little step of the process before a new mob comes to life. Now I've done a lot of progress lately, especially with 2A being out. 1C and 1B. These snapshots have been out after a very long break, so I haven't shown off all of these changes and the way I worked on them, but I've done some new progress after 1C, and there's 5 more mobs now, so let me just demonstrate that. Also, before we go in, a couple small changes. First of all, you can see on my sidebar a scoreboard. That's IMMGS1, stands for Encore's More Mobs, General Score 1. I mostly use it for spawning custom mobs, but because it's a general scoreboard, I can use it for anything. And I do these general scoreboards if I'm not using like already existing scoreboards for one mob, and I don't need an extra one. So this is the first one, and it's mostly for spawning mobs, so I have it on all the time almost. And as you could see, it flashes pretty quickly like that, yeah. But that's because most of the spawning, it has moved to advancements. Not these kinds of advancements, but the ones you cannot see, and they are now determining what mobs spawn. Right now you could see them flash because I'm not using advancements, I'm just using commands, which means they're running 20 times per second, while advancements only run once per second. And that might be a little bit of a downside, but in the end it works out better because it actually scans for the player's location, and I can determine if the player is in the stronghold, and if the mob is standing on one of the stronghold blocks, then only it turns into the custom mob you see right here. So this is the prisoner ghost. Finally has an official name, and I decided to show him off first because I've already shown him off and some stuff has been changed about this mob. Let me just talk about that when we get to see it. So while we get there, I want to also emphasize that using advancements is a big improvement. I haven't actually worked with them much, but there will be custom advancements for more mobs in the future, and I haven't come out with them yet, but I think that's gonna be one of the final things I ever add to the pack. At least I think so. So as you can see, this guy doesn't go in or out of the walls and ceiling, the floor I mean. It's still quite buggy, but much better than it used to be in that regard, at least. Ooh, that was a bit of a lag. Come on, my man. You can do it. Stairs are his weakness. Yeah. This guy can get really stuck on these. Stuck on these. And they also do that. Usually they just die when that happens. This time he didn't. So yeah, still a lot of work has to be done in regards of this prisoner ghost. But it's shaping up to be great. It's a vast improvement on what it used to be. It's a big step up, so I'm kind of proud. As you can see, he has no problem facing through the block, but that happened. Not the best demonstration, I suppose. But yeah, I added this feature when they can. I don't remember if I showed this off in the last snapshot. I think I didn't. But I added this feature when they phase through walls now, which basically just doors and things of that nature. It's mostly just used for doors, so let me just demonstrate it here very quick. If he's still focused on me, and you can escape him quick enough that he stops caring about you. Oof, that can happen, my man. They will lose interest, but as you can see, that time I didn't get away. And as you can see, they also wobble like this, which means they are much slower because they're actually looking for, well, I don't want them to get hurt basically. So they are scanning for the ceiling and floor constantly and teleporting back and forth, because when they use the Vex, it's kind of chaotic. The movement is quite chaotic, so that's a thing. That also happens quite a lot, unfortunately. But you know, that's what it's not gonna be, I guess. The problem with these mobs is that they are very glitchy. Still, even though when they're improved greatly, they have a lot of issues. You know, that's always like my life mindset. Even when you think you're pretty bad or you're pretty good, there's always worse and better. There's anything perfect or perfectly bad or perfectly good. Those are unreachable. There's always going to be stronger or weaker than you, so don't think you are the sounds kind of weird, I guess, but what I'm trying to say is that this mob will get better, and of course there's a time where you can just say, alright, you know, always can get better, as I say, but this is pretty much where I stop. And I promise you, before I release the entire more mobs, this mob will be at that point. Of course, it can never be perfect, but he will have little to no issues with him. I promise you that. For now, I don't know how to do it, but that's what I thought before I did this change. So let me show you how he behaves in West Villagers. I built this whole set to demonstrate. So yeah, this whole, what did I just say even? Am I getting pretentious in more mobs? Well. Let's just hop into creative mode and spawn one in, and a couple of villagers. Okay, never mind. Do that again. As you can see, he faces through the doors pretty well, for the most part at least. Ah man, come on. Yeah, they also don't go too high. That's another measure I added, just so that the mob, when he's in open space, which is just not even supposed to be anyway, but you know, just in case, just so you know, if there's a little high ceiling, maybe in the library or in the ravine, if it intersects with the stronghold, this guy doesn't go way too high. Alright, pretty good. He lacks, I don't know how actually he behaves in water. I'm not sure. I haven't tried this out. I haven't gotten to this point when he's in the water. Interesting, huh? But yeah, as you can see, when it doesn't get to the player itself, his navigation is more or less very nice. Get stuck gets stuck in the blocks occasionally. But see, the problem with the glitches is that I don't want the corrupted soul to be an easy to obtain item. Therefore, I must eliminate all of the glitches that make him a vulnerable target. So, also since he's slow, I buffed him a little, made him stronger, hits harder basically, that's what that is. Just so you know, it's a thing. And he also looks different because of the up define, which I'm not using. And will always be using for mouse from now on, because the textures require it. Barely he's phasing into the floor. Anyway. So that's, I think, it for him. Oh, I want to show you this for a second. Let me spawn the guy here. As you can see, he was made with the thought of him interacting in this environment because of those rooms in the stronghold. It was the chests. Those rooms are the ones for which I made sure he doesn't hit the ceiling. Actually, you know what? Let me check this out for a second. Okay, that was pretty cool, huh? Oh, that's a pretty cool perspective. Interesting, huh? Huh. Yeah, I've never seen something like this. That's pretty crazy. Especially with the lag. That's hilarious. Oh man, okay. Let's try this guy, I guess. Yeah, their perspective is kind of interesting. I like how they wobble in it. Alright, I'm getting distracted. What am I doing? Let's do something better with that, shall we? So I'll show you how he works in this room. Doesn't go up the ceiling. So he keeps his floor level and doesn't sink into the floor though. Although sometimes they can sink into the floor like that, so that is weird. I think the whole phasing is what, yeah, I think I noticed the pattern every time they teleport. They tend to phase. I mean, they tend to phase every time they phase. It's after when they teleport, so I guess that's the problem. Can still promise that I'll fix the whole thing right now. So actually, let me summon a golem. I haven't tried this before. I got this idea out of nowhere. Let me try it. How effective is he against them? Or should I say, how effective are they against him? Not very effective, turns out. They're pretty good in the player though, I gotta say. They can't land the hits quick enough. Huh. Well. Yeah, they go for the villagers instead. They don't even care about them. Yeah, they take too long to recharge. So interesting that, but that's probably it for this guy for now, at least. I don't think I'll change the way he works. Maybe add particles or a different sound effect. Maybe change his sound effects, because he just sounds like a Vindicator. And I want him to sound more ghostly, more kind of a creepier, you know what I mean? So, except all that, I don't think anything else will be new about this guy. Also, forgot to mention, I think in the last snapshot I implemented this. So all of the more mobs items are now gray colored, except these two. They are dark gray. So you know how they implemented this new thing in Minecraft 1.13, but different items are differently colored depending on the type of the item. This is what I'm trying to do, but I want more mouse items to be distinguishable from regular items, and also have like one tier, I guess, of them. So gray and dark gray, because these are more harder to get. Maybe there'll be even a third tier for boss items, but I'm not sure. Maybe. But what'll be? What'll it be, fellas? Black? I'm not sure. We'll see. Alright, so the two next mobs are in the end. Before we go in there though, I want to say that I've been working on more mobs since like 1.10, I think. So it's been a while and there's been different alterations. The first old more mobs I finished, I started working on the more mobs for the end. A lot of cool stuff there, but it didn't live long. So when I reworked the more mobs concept for 1.12, I started working on more mobs at the end as well. But because I've given up on that, since it all went to 1.13, I also changed a few things, because as I said, you can always have room for improvement. And you always improve yourself. You look back at something after like a couple months or longer, and you say, yeah, this could be changed for the better. So this is what happened here. I'll explain what the mobs used to be like and what they are now. Also, there were no phantoms in 1.12, so this is also new. Completely new mob there. So let me just demonstrate you, and I'll explain what the phantom meant. Let's go into the end. Immediately you can see shit ton of numbers. They're not changing that quickly because it's advancements, as I said. But as you can see, there's some flying boys. Those are the Ender Phantoms. I'm actually a big fan of the texture myself. I don't remember the last time I've been so proud of my own texture. These guys turned out pretty well. Now you might think they don't look that impressive, but they actually have a lot of detail to them. They're very much based off the Ender Dragon texture, as you can see, which also doesn't get much credit because it actually is very detailed, and you can see that a lot of effort went into it. So I kind of tried to replicate that, but on a little smaller scale. I used a lot of the same colors and techniques. I did scales and stuff of that nature. So I'll show you just a picture of how that looks. You can see there's horns on his back, whatever you can call them. I don't know. Forgot the word. Anyways, the wings are 2D now because they kind of look weird. They still have this texture problem, but I think they look better like this in 2D. And they have a little bit of a... They look more like dragon wings too, because they are shaped more like dragon wings, less than like phantom wings. And they have this whole, you know, finger stuff. You know what I mean. So, pretty cool mob, I think. I actually want to show you the other guy here. Yeah, him. But I want to start with the Phantom, I think. Not that I'm, you know, talking about it. So this guy, first of all, a couple days ago, I think 1 or 2 days ago, when I was starting to work on this mob, I was like, yeah, it's not gonna be anything interesting. It's just gonna be a Phantom, but it was a different skin, and in the end, that's it. It's the end of the story. And I thought to myself, maybe they should be, you know, a little bit different, but I had no idea what to do with them. And then I just had this one thought, maybe they should teleport. I'll tell you when I show the mobs and stuff. I don't want to spoil, but since they're Ender Phantoms, so that was a mistake. I mean, not a mistake, but that was a misclick. Anyways, it really shows you how much stuff can change even in one day when I decided to change this mob for the better. What the hell are you doing here, man? Run for your life! Huh. That's hilarious. Anyway, I don't want to show you this guy off just yet. But they're kind of everywhere, so let's get into an area where I don't see them. Here's a good place. And let's go into survival and get one of these Ender Phantoms to attack us. But first of all, I reload the world because it's getting a little bit laggy. So, let's try this. Right, sorry for a bit. I had to do a thing. Sorry for the cut, I mean. So let's see what he does. So yeah, as you can see, when he hits me, he teleports. Because I think when they hit you, they're the most vulnerable to get attacked by you. Except from when they are about to attack you, which is when they are most vulnerable. But then how can they attack you if they, teleport away? Ooh. That was a good one, man. These guys are pretty dangerous, actually. So as you can see, when I damage them, they also teleport away. Alright. That's because when you attack them, they have a split moment of going up, and this is when they're also vulnerable to get hit by arrows multiple times. Therefore, I decided to make them teleport when that happens. Also, when you're fighting them, it's really hard to not look at the Enderman. I'm trying my best right now. So, because they have this ability, I debuff their health. They have 2 times less health than regular phantoms. That's exactly 10 points, or 5 hearts. So yeah, that's it for the Ender Phantom, and I think they're pretty cool. They're everywhere, all over the place. Oh, I forgot to mention as well, they can't catch me off guard though, very often. Kind of scary. But what I forgot to mention, if they can stop shrieking, please. Yeah, that one caught me off guard. So, actually, yeah, I'm getting swooped right now. I should probably run away. Okay, it's a more safer spot in my opinion, at least. Oh, they're still pursuing me, really. Can I showcase this other mob, please? Okay. So, I've already shown this guy off a little bit, but I didn't actually talk about him. Oh, forget to say, the Ender Phantoms start spawning after the dragon is killed by the player, because the player determines the spawning of mobs, because advancements, that's how they work. Ooh. Yeah, these guys, they actually can swarm around you pretty quickly as well, despite the fact that they're very slow. They also have a tremendous amount of health, I could say. And they drop obsidian, which is pretty cool. Originally they were called obsidian golems, but I thought that's kind of weird to have. Yeah, that killed me. Because it doesn't fit with the other golems. And I still think that, you can have a golem that's bad, but I think, the overall continuity has to be prioritized. And to Ender Sentinels, as you can see right here. This guy dropped obsidian still, and they will look like obsidian when I start making the texture. They chop from 1 to 2 pieces, from 0 to 2 pieces, I mean. And they are pretty, they're not actually that common in the end. Less common than phantoms, I believe. But nevertheless, you will see them around. So these guys are mainly there to be like a reminder, like an extra challenge for the player. So you don't concentrate on the dragon only, or the phantoms. By the way, where are they? Oh my god, he scared the shit out of me. So yeah, these guys are actually can spot you from kind of far away. I think I'll add them like a buff so they can find you from even further. But yeah, as I said, if I didn't forget to mention, you can actually, if you try a critical hit, you can kill the Phantom in one hit if you do that. I'm pretty bad at this, I guess. So these guys are like a good thing for farming obsidian, and they're also kind of dangerous because they hit really hard. I'm pretty bad at this. So yeah, definitely don't mess with them. See, almost killed me there. Took like 9 hearts away. So these guys are big danger. Even though they're small, when you're distracted by something, it's really easy to get carried away. And these guys can catch up to you and hit you really hard. So it's an extra challenge when you fight the Ender Dragon. And they're an extra challenge when you are farming Phantom Membrane, I guess. Or just having fun in the end. There'll be another mob in this main island. But he will also be in the outer islands as well. So we'll have stuff to do here. Not that much, but still stuff to do here. So I guess let's go to the portal. That's it for these guys. There's also gonna be nether Sentinels, which kind of keeps consistency in the data pack. There are gonna be like multiple instances of those mobs. Claim similar names or concepts, and they're very different, but kind of have the same thing, like the Cyclops and the, well, I'm not gonna spoil it. Just you will see what I mean in the future. So only 2 mobs left to show off. They're not fully done yet on the texture side. They're done mechanically, but I'll need to work on the textures, as well as of course the Ender Sentinels. That I'll show you in the video. But before I start that thing I promised, of course, I will show you stuff you didn't want to know. So let's go into the nether and actually want to be creative for this. Alright, let's check it out. So oh, I think the way the nether works is it doesn't really reload the same chunks, therefore you don't see this huge jump that I usually see in the scores when you enter the nether now, because I've already been here. So you can see this new mob everywhere. They're pretty common. They're actually the thing from the oldest, the first ever more mobs for the nether. They're not the same, but they're pretty much the same ones that were in 1.12. So yeah, and in 1.12 they changed a bit. Now they don't shoot projectiles. And this is just like a hatchback for the spider itself. So that hasn't changed at all since 1.12. The only thing that changed is they don't drop the how's it called? The nether wart like crazy anymore. And yeah, this can happen. This guy loves just killing himself stupidly. As you can see, when you kill one of them, the other one dies. But this spider has more health than I think Ender Dragon and the Wither combined. So killing it is kind of a suicide mission, because it also hits you kinda hard. It has gives you fire damage, sets you on fire. So what I did with this mob is I did this hatchback thing, which is his weak spot. This is where you're trying to hit, not the spider itself. You can, you know, knock him back and stuff like that, but it would be just a pointless thing to do. So kill the thing, the weak spot first, like this. And it also has a chance of dropping another wart block, which is pretty cool. And now the spider is stronger than usual spiders still, but much less health on this guy. And they drop a Magma Cream. Let's see if we can get it from this guy. It's not a very common drop though, so most of the time you'll get nothing. I'll probably make it more Magma Cream, because I think it's a better source of getting it than the Magma Cubes, which are not very frequently in the Nether. They're kind of rare, and these guys are kind of common. So I want the fight to be more fair, you know. Let's see here. Still no luck. So I actually want to make an advancement, like a challenge. Here we go. For killing the spider. If you kill the spider before the Hunchback, which means you kill the spider that has 350 health, it's going to give you a reward. It's gonna be a challenge, like a cool challenge. I think that would be kind of fun. So I think that's kind of it for this guy. I think he likes hurting himself a little bit. The spider can climb up and the shellco will suffocate. All the zombie pigmen will spawn in like an area like this, and the spider will get damaged. I actually saw a spider die in this one spot. He hasn't moved, and all the 350 points, they all gone. Just because this idiot didn't move and he just suffocated in the wall like a dumbass. And that was hilarious to witness, to say the least. But yeah, this texture is not final at all. Might keep the nice eyes. I think I actually can redo the whole spider texture completely for more mobs, just for this guy, because why not? I feel like it, you know. Maybe I'll do it. But what I'm trying to get at is that this is part of his body, and kind of like with the morph here, I'll stylize it to be looking like a part of him, basically. Also, I might use the TP command to make the Hunchback always face the same direction as the spider, so it will look better. Anyways, here that's pretty much for this guy, I guess. But I want to make it like so it's part of his body, it can get grows out of it. It's gonna look kind of cool. It won't look like a shulker, trust me, it'll be very neat. So let's just go like this. And yeah, loading enchantment X, I got a lot more stuff. That's how you know. And the next and final mob for this snapshot. Kind of a lot of people here, huh? But last but not least, please welcome our boy. Let's see if I can actually find one spawning naturally. Probably not. They're not very common at all. But you will see them occasionally. You know, I'll just spawn one in. Why not? So replacing the overworld skeletons in the Nether because they're not even supposed to be here in the first place. I never liked that feature. I think it was way off. So I think that's a good spot to summon one. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome the demon. Now I know what you'll say. Bruh, look at this dude. But don't worry, that's the old texture. Just noise, it didn't really work on it at all, which is a prototype. Let me get one that actually is a cool texture. As you can see, they have different facial expressions, eyebrow styles. I like this guy the best. That's pretty cool. There's also one with no pupils, and yeah, I like this guy. He's pretty cool too. But let's see if I can get the one I want right now. There we go, my boy. So this is the one that I actually finished. At least the head I finished, not everything as you can see by the hands, but I finished the head. And I think it looks hella lit, as they say these days. Yo man, can you not? Okay, cool. So he has these kind of hieroglyphs. It's inspired by the ancient Chinese dragon design and stuff like that. I think it's pretty neat. Yeah, that's what I can say about this guy. I improved the smile a little bit on him, and the whole facial expression I think looks better. The eyebrow is more solid, although it might change, for different expressions, of course. Still planning to do them. The nose, pretty cool. So they all have different skins. They actually might change drastically 1.14, because we'll have skins for every villager type. Therefore, villager zombie should get all the new skins. I suppose that would make sense. So there'll be way more skins for these guys, or maybe I'll just be lazy and keep the ones I have, because I already ran out of ideas on the guy with no pupils. So I'm pretty sure those will be the only ones. People add like more texture to the ancient demon himself, but that's gonna be a spoiler for another day. So these guys are pretty tough. Let me actually show you how tough they are. You can't even kill them with this sharpness 100 level diamond axe. That's how powerful they are. So they dropped this new item called Demonic Essence. And Demonic Essence and Corrupted Souls will be used to summon the Ancient Demon, which is the Nether boss. Will be similar to the one I did in my unreleased More Mobs version for 1.12. But it'll be also very different in a lot of regards. That's it. Enough spoilers for you for now. I just wanted to show off this cool texture I've got to finish on this one guy, wherever he is. Ran away. He's probably just here somewhere, I just can't see him. Okay, that doesn't matter, you already seen him anyway. So this guy will get a symbol achievement. I think they have most of the banners the same, but the symbols will change for everyone, as well as facial expressions and the skin tone itself. Yeah, that's what I meant when I... let's watch this guy just die slowly in pain. So yeah. The demons will be kind of cool. If you know how common regular skeletons are in the nether fortresses, you will get the idea that these mobs, they are there, but they're not there very often. But when they are there, you are supposed to hunt for them, and they will give this really cool extra challenge for the nether fortresses, because they really needed something new and cool, I think. These guys are pretty slow, but they are really strong. When you fight them, they have thorns too on all of their armor stats. That means you're gonna be damaged really hard with every hit, so you will bank on the amount of damage you do in one hit. So you'll try to get this critical hit, you'll try to do it with the diamond axe you have. That's at least the way I did it, most effective of course. And that's the strategy for these guys. Just do the critical damage and do the most damage in one hit possible. That's the most effective way to fight them, because you'll need to heal and eat constantly, and while they're slow you have the time to do it, but it's still a very captivating fight, especially if there's more of them, more than one, and there's other mobs around as well. So I've had some really cool experiences with these guys. Really fun, really challenging, so I think you will like it too. Because what I'm aiming to do is to make Nether more challenging, because it's mostly just a safe place to be in. Except the guys who can easily be killed with a bow and arrow, or the crossbow and arrow. There's nothing threatening you, and I will change that greatly. There's already Marfears, there's gonna be these guys, Nether spiders, there's gonna be Afrids, Acrids, and that's only the ones I'm confirming right now. So trust me, there'll be more and more. So actually there's a texture for this shulker itself. As you can see, it's kind of like a netherware block thing. That's just a little Easter egg for you. So what I'm aiming to do is make Nether more live up to its name, more dangerous, more spooky, more really high stakes displays. So there's gonna be at least one more mob after the demon for the fortresses, and at least 2 more mobs for the overall nether, and the rest will be for the boss, the mobs he summons, and the mob himself. So that will add up to 20. And you know, including all the mobs they already have. I'll add a neutral mob, I think, and a passive mob, which is already a scooper, but I might change that. I made make a new one. So yeah, in total they should add up to 20. So 20 mobs for each dimension, including all the boss mob things, whatever they summon. That also includes as a full mob. So yeah, got him. I guess that's it for this video though. Oh, whoa, I've been recording for like 40 minutes. Crazy, right? Well guys, I hope you enjoyed. It's been a while after these videos and I'm really missed making them, and I hope you missed them watching them too. So thank you all so much for joining me. And now a little bit of a segment when I do the texture for the obsidian golem. I'm gonna be narrating over it and explaining why I'm doing the certain patterns, the certain design choices that I'm making. So I hope that's also pretty cool, and you'll get the thing I promised already. So yeah, alright. So here we are in my editing software, image editing software. It's called paint.net, and I think I would recommend this to anybody. If you don't want to go way too advanced to the Photoshop level, if you don't want to pay for any software, this is a great choice. I don't want to ramble on. I'm just saying this is great for pixel artists or any simple picture editing. Actually pretty capable, very user friendly, and free. So great software. Now all I want to show you is the process of me working on this texture. As you can see, it's absolutely awful. I haven't even layered it. That's how bad it is. Or rather, I don't have the layer here. I don't think so. Yeah, it's not here. I just checked. So also I want to mention that I forgot what I wanted to mention. Too bad. I already started, so let's just get into it, I guess. First of all, I would open my Cyclops file here. As you can see, tons of layers. No, these guys aren't ogres, but they have a ton of layers. So here I have this picture of obsidian. That absolutely should not be there. Let's just make it its own layer. It's gonna be in the top because I'm gonna take pixels from it. Already did actually, but this is just for the general look, so I can check how much it matches when I'm finished. Now to my signature. Also, yeah, what I want to mention is that you cannot see all of my layers here, and the history tab, and the colors tab, and the tools tab, I think too. That's crazy. It's OBS being an asshole right now. I apologize, but there's nothing I really can fix here. They, for some reason, I can't get the how's it called? I can't get the screen sharing feature to work. Screen capturing, so I can show you my whole screen. I can only show you this one application, and it doesn't include all the little toolbars, unfortunately. So let's add the signature. This is the signature that I add to my every texture that I make, if I have space for it. Mostly those are only for mob textures, because other textures don't really have any space for extra stuff. But nevertheless, this is our colors. Those are the main colors I picked from the obsidian texture. You can see those are actually kind of different. Well, you can't see very good, but they surely are. If I can demonstrate like this, here you can clearly see that they are different. Alright, so let's begin working on this. Let's start with the darker tones first. This texture is a mess. You know, I always start with the head first. It's just noise, as you can see, so I really haven't worked on it at all. Let's see now. That's peculiar. It's a visual glitch, I think. Oh, it's because I selected. I'm an idiot. Alright. Gotta learn your quirks as this software first. So let's make a full cube. That's right. Start with the face. Start with the simple stuff. We can finally, you know, in the end cover this whole thing. But don't usually do that first because it's a bit distracting. Now, I'll create a pattern. I love doing patterns and stuff like that, but I'm not really sure what kind of pattern I want for this guy just yet. Let's go like this. Like a random little thingy. Yeah, here you can really clearly see the difference. I just hope I didn't pick the wrong ones, because, yeah, those are the right ones, huh? On the white background you can't see it all, but the difference here is very clear. Interesting. Alright, so these little tones, we'll add them like this. No, that was kind of weird looking. Let's just do a bit like this. I think in the center we're kind of missing out and stuff, but I think that would do. So yeah. Since it's gonna be eyes anyway, I don't really want anything. I guess I can leave this little thing in the center. It's kind of weird looking, but I think it's alright for now. I don't always really stick with the same texture I made the whole way through. As you can see with the Cyclops. So who knows, maybe this will change as well. And I usually like continuing the stripes across like the side textures and things of that nature. And here I'm trying to be a bit like the obsidian texture. It has these little things like this. So I think that's good. Can have one at the bottom like this, and I think this one kind of feels like a lonely dot, so I can connect to something below on the chin, which is right here. Let's cancel that and go to the other side. Now I tend to have the sides the same. Sometimes when a texture is more intricate, I guess I don't do that. For example, with the different mob texture, which I'm not revealing yet, it's not actually even for more mobs, so that's for the pack that I haven't revealed yet. I actually have been promising for a while now to do it, so I guess I'll... My bad, guys. My bad. I think I'm repeating the pattern pretty on point. Just looking on the other side. Yeah, it should be the thing I want. So here's the line, right? I believe. Let's actually extend this a little bit because there's an overabundance of these. Oh, here's something that's different. Oh, no, that's the same, don't worry. Okay, I guess we're done here, right? Don't worry, there will be an upper pattern above this whole thing, too. So, I'll have stuff going on beside this. Let's check this out, then. Alright, so to the back, I usually just gonna repeat the same kind of thing, but in a different way. It also accounts for the top of the head. I like connecting the back of the head to the top of the head to this very often. I don't know, just a thing I like to do. So, but I figured I'd start here first. Okay, this will have like a little thing connected. The problem with these textures is they don't give you much space to work with, unfortunately. And they've been fixing up with Japa lately, but at the same time, there's two problems mainly. First of all, they are they're all even numbers. So this is 8 by 8 and stuff like that. Most of them are 8 by 8 because most more mob heads are like this. I think the gas texture is also 8 by 8, but I'm not sure. Maybe there's more pixels in there. I can't entirely speak for that because I just don't know, but it looks like it definitely in the game. So yeah. Thankfully, I already completed the face, the front, so that helps me see the borders of this part. You know, just to be sure I covered them all, I'll do this. Okay, so back to the pencil. Yeah, the main problem is that they don't have much space, and then they're not odd numbers. For example, is the dolphin texture, I'm pretty sure, and the phantom texture, they have different dimensions. Those are not odd numbers, and this is probably my favorite new textures for mobs because they fixed this issue. And I mean, you can say it's Minecraft style and stuff like that, but it really is a problem to work on textures like this because as you can see, there's these big blobs and there's nothing in between them. And I've ran into this a bunch of times. You just can't make it look good, it's just like a big blob. See right here? So I have to scratch that idea now. It starts to remind me of the old Cyclops texture the way I'm doing this one. Alright, let's have it like this. And usually on the bottom of the head I don't connect anything at all. Rarely. I tend to follow the same pattern as the default textures for these, I guess. Now I want to make it a gradual thing. So how can I do that? Oh, I'm not using the actual. So I like it to extend further and like the color to deepen. I'll just fill this space with the same color and then gradually make it darker. You see what I mean? So let's go to brightness and contrast and give it to negative 46. You can see pretty good results here. Let's jump 1 pixel like this. Alright. The same. How about I didn't go way too far because I can see the difference now. Yeah, way too far. Okay. Let's go negative 23. That should be good. Alright, so that should do the thing. And the next one you will be able to make out, right? No. Still. Are you sure? Let's go down to negative 11. Actually, when I started working on the resource pack for that, the same unmentioned... Oh, I think the color is different, definitely, huh? If that was the case. So then let's try this again, I guess. And this is where I kind of worked with this pattern. I got a 23. For some reason, it just when I do a lot of recolors on that in that pack, and I was just thinking when I was working on it. This is just what I figured out, and now I'm using it all the time. I don't know, for some reason, those are the numbers that work. Alright, so you can see there's definitely a difference here. What about this? Can't really see much. Weird. I mean, it's as low as you can get, probably. Let's do this. This will let us see better. Oh, the selection is too small. Hold on a second. Yeah, like this you can see, but then when you go deep down, you can't see it anymore. Let's check that out. If you have to take a different approach here or something. Yeah, there's no difference. So it goes this far, then it's just like the black color, and that's it. Huh. I know we'll leave it like this for now. I know what, now we have to change this. I guess I'll make the circle smaller and then we'll do this. Then we'll do this side of it. Maybe this will work out better, right? Forgot to deselect. Alright, let's check it out now. But this is more visible now, I guess. Still got to use contrast to actually see it. So what I think now is to make a border around this to make it stand out a little bit more. What do you think? Never done this before with a texture, that's for sure. Let's save this PDN file and we'll save it as Ender Sentinel. I suppose that's the name of the mob, right? Okay, got this done. So the head, we finished this first outline, but there's still a lot of work left. Let's go back to the background and check these ones out. This is the secondary pattern that I'm going to be doing. So I want it to be more like, yeah, more like this. More like the actual obsidian. These are kind of harsh. I don't want this texture to be just like obsidian. I just want it to be inspired by that whole idea. Hopefully I'm not too aggressive on the whole pattern and stuff. Yeah, that was kind of odd. Let's just do this here. I apologize if I'm not talking a lot when I'm doing these, but I'm just in the process. I guess I'm not following the exact patterns. Like here you can see it's certain highlights, but yeah. I want it to look nice, you know. It's hard to do that. No, it just looks like there's too much in that little space. I just don't want to overshadow the previous pattern, but also make something on top. I'm avoiding that, so I guess here you don't really, that's not really that important. And I think we're done. I guess we could do this here, because why not? I'm already going way too far with the head texture anyway. The bottom head texture. And I think we'll apply a bit of a noise to the whole thing just because the obsidian is a bit noisy as well, so just look more natural this way. For this, for example, texture, I didn't feel like the noise would really work for it. Or the pants only, and because the old texture was just pure noise, and this one definitely is much different than the one you're used to, so yeah, I just thought that would be better. Let's go back here and apply the third layer. So yeah, this is just gonna be like a secondary thing. It's not going to be like interconnected. In an intricate way. I think it's going great so far. I'm liking this. Well, I mean, when I do these textures, I just do random patterns basically. but there's certain, I think the colors is what really matters in these. This guy, for example, I wanted to give him some muscular structure, so he wound up being different. And, you know, these are kind of standing out too much. Maybe I should just do this here. Mute it out a little. I guess we can add more to the bottom of the head. I actually started experimenting with the bottom of the head lately a little bit. Is that for good? I can't tell, to be honest. Maybe it's a big mistake. Gotta do a big old blob here. Can't help it. Stuff here. Stuff there. And I guess we'll do a little dot here. And pretty much we're done, I think. I'm looking at this texture right now, it looks kind of cool. I also want to change the eyes. I always put those like facial features on a separate layer. They look quite weird, I have to say. I guess I'll change the way I'm doing these. Yo, let's cut it out of here anyway. So, really? How did this happen? Okay, that will fix it. Okay, so if we just put this on the eyes like this, it looks hella weird. I probably should just use different colors for the eyes. Certainly, it looks off when you do that. And I guess the eyes around themselves have to make do some kind of outlines so they stand out more. Yeah, we'll see what I can do with this. Let's just get the red color but make it hella darker, I guess. Yeah, this is much better, but we can go darker and grayer. A bit too dark in my opinion. Let's go back here. A little bit too bright in my opinion. Let's go back darker. Already shaping up. I'm almost done here, I think. Alright. I just really little changes doing here. Okay, I think this is good. Now for the eyebrows, I made a mistake of making the eyebrows for the Cyclops texture, the old one, same color as I think something else. I'm not sure. I made this mistake before. Now I think that all the eye colors should look, eyebrow colors should look much different. Now here's not much of a difference here, right? Let's try this again. Yeah, I just want to make it more brown, but then when I go black, kind of very similar to this one. Let's just make it much darker. You know what I thought? Maybe we can even give this a little bit of hint of an orange, I think now. Where could you do that? Potentially. But more to the bright orange side. Yeah, I'm not sure about this one. I guess I just want to go a little bit more yellowish here. We gotta make it darker too. No, that's way off. That's just weird now. Yeah, sometimes when I make these textures, I just go like, I don't know what to do with these. I guess I'll do this. More to the obsidian stuff, but you know, it's at least it's shaping up. I think the eyes are too dark. That's what's the problem. Let's make them lighter. It'll fit much more when I do that. Alright, you know what? I think this is good. But we also have like a need to get like a dark color to highlight the eyes around and stuff. Something like this will do. Although, as you can see, again, the stupid blob is in the way. If it was an odd number, it wouldn't be a blob. It would just be a 1 pixel length line. But because of the stupid, see, it's a big issue in my opinion, at least. I guess I could do this. It's already better. And it's like, let's add darker tones here. Up to the eyebrow. And I think that should be enough for the eyes. Although now I think the eyebrow looks very odd when it doesn't cover the whole. Alright, that should be good. Let's see how it looks. Yeah, I gotta say it's not very good because of the middle. I guess we'll have to get rid of the whole idea. You know what? Let me just get this. Let's cut this out and put it in an upper layer and then make it invisible. So it's out there, but I'm not considering it right now. It just stands out too much with the eyes. They're too bright. Turn up the lights. They're too bright. Let's make the whole thing darker then, I guess. Matches more, I suppose. I still feel like there needs to be an outline around the eyes. Should there be eyes at all? Now that I think about it, maybe I should change the whole style of the eyes. Maybe. How long could I have been recording this already? I can't tell. Wow, it's gonna be a long episode. Maybe even an hour long. I hope you like it then, I guess. Or I'll do the parts because it's just too long. Nobody will watch an episode this long. I could just really need like a dark color around the eyes. Just to really stand out. This doesn't look half bad. Maybe I should get rid of the eyebrow. Maybe I should just do that. Let's try this. Yeah, much better. Scratch that whole thing. Let's just get rid of the eyebrow. Let's just do that, yeah. Yeah, sure. Let's get rid of it. Alright, that should be it. Peculiar. Oh, didn't want to do that. It's still kind of weirdly standing out, but I think this is better. Yeah, let's go back and pick this color, and then go here, and we will change these red lights to be more bluish, more like the color we used for the bait texture. Just fill in like, oh. My mistake. I have this selection though. So yep, I made stuff much easier. Let's do this then, and make it darker. let's move the eyes to here. Yeah, it's more like with the rest of the texture, but it stands out less. Although what I would do is desaturate it a bit. So let's do that here. Again, 23. And we use the same number. Let's just do this one, and that'll make the process faster. I think it's alright, you know. I would go with this. This is something like, yep, that's alright. It's good, it's good. Let's go back and see. Alright, this is how I want it to line up. Let's just move it all the way here. And this is it for the head. Let's check it out in game. Or I guess, you know what, I want to include the whole texture in this video, but since I spent so much time on this one thing, I guess I'll have to show you off the results. I mean, the body's gonna be following pretty much the same pattern, so you get the idea. Yeah. It's already been a while while I'm recording this, so I bet you're bored already. So that's it for the texture work, I guess, then. So guys, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this episode. I'm going to make more, of course. Don't expect it to come out that soon or that frequently as they used to, but I think you'll see them around. So yeah, don't forget to smash subscribe, ring my bell, and as always,